Welcome to this Windows channel. This is the tech news for Friday, April 22nd, 2016. And today in our tech news update, we have Apple. We've been learning that iTunes, books, and movies are being blocked in China, which is not a big surprise actually, because, it's a closed country and they are really trying to control everything that the Chinese people will see and will do. So basically, that ain't a surprise for me. And it's interesting to see, how even big companies like Apple aren't able to really push their stuff, and they got to be careful of what they do in China. It's sad when you think about it, though. Well, in the gray clouds of Microsoft, with all the announcements of revenues this week, one is actually Blue Sky, and it's the Surface Pro tablets. The Surface line of computers is actually enjoying great sales. And Microsoft did say that they are actually even much better than what they expected to have. So it's pretty cool, and that is, I think, a good news for the Surface line of products. Now, it's also interesting because, we've been seeing a PC market going down all the time in sales. But there's one side that everybody says it's not going down, and we see it with the Surface tablet. People like hybrid devices. They want to have something that can be a tablet, but they also want to have something that can be a laptop when needed. And, that's where this device, which is a high quality device, reaches everybody basically. So that's good news for the future of the Surface products. Well, one of the things that they mention in the revenue is that the Windows 10 free upgrades is actually putting a dent of 1.6 billion in their revenues. And that is interesting because they're kind of saying, well, we're losing 1.6 billion, but I don't like that the way of saying things, because basically, they've gained almost 300 million users with Windows 10. They're not losing 1.6 billion. They're just not making the 1.6 billion that they would do if they would have sold Windows 10, basically. And that, for me, is a major difference. They're not losing. They're actually winning big with the fact that they're giving it free. And you know what? I hope that they continue giving it free in July 29th. That's for sure. One very dark cloud, I would say, in the Microsoft stuff is the Windows phones. 70% drop in sales over a year. Now that's basically a free fall. And it's sad because these are great products. And what's even worse is that they've put billions of dollars in here, and like a lot of you have been telling me, they're not pushing the devices. They could do so much more to push these devices. And unfortunately, they're not. And basically, Microsoft is kind of almost, creating this free fall, almost as if they wish that these devices will just disappear. It's just incredible. You spend, a lot of money in buying Nokia and starting to make these Lumia phones and everything, which are, everybody agrees, great devices, but you're just not pushing them and helping them. It's sad because in a world where everything is controlled by Android or iOS, it would have been nice to, it is nice to have something else to go to if you want. Unfortunately, now the future looks rather dark for the Windows Phone. So Microsoft did release first quarter revenues, $20.5 billion dollars. Net income, $3.8 billion dollars. Now that's below what the stock market wanted, and so the shares of Microsoft have taken a dive because of these numbers. But yet these numbers are pretty good. And you know what? They're also showing how Microsoft is changing these numbers now. The majority of that revenue stream is cloud stuff, Xbox, and Office 365. These three products is like 90% of all the revenues now. So it's pretty interesting how they're shifting their company in. I think it's cool because they've actually been able to shift the company into something else and not stay into just Windows. And basically, that would have been a bad situation, that's for sure. And finally, if you're a Windows 10 insider, Windows 10 Insider Preview 14.328 is available for download since this morning, which is unusual. Usually they, release it later in the day. So it's available now. I'm installing it on my Insider machine. If you want to have a review or a look at how well it goes before installing it, my review is coming up later this afternoon. I hope you're going to enjoy it, and I hope that you love our videos. So that was pretty much the tech news update for Friday, April 22nd, 2016. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And hopefully you enjoy our videos and have a great weekend. Please give us thumbs up. Please subscribe. And see you Monday for our next news bulletin.